fans, what do you want next? Want to hear from you. What do the people want? It's the best thing for Michigan State to do now. Nothing is really ideal, but Gator, your idea is to go back to everyone who's already said no and try again. Well, go back to many of the candidates who've said no.
I would go back to Mel Tucker, that's for sure.
I think that the best direction is to probably ride it out with Mike Tressel this year, because I don't think any of those guys are going to change their mind. So
I don't expect them to change their minds, but would you agree that you have to go back and talk to them?
You could, but it's like going back and asking Fickell. I just don't think it's going to happen. But I'd ride it out with Tressel and start over to try and minimize the damage rather than make a 6th, 7th, 8th, best choice hire. And then get back involved next year. 248-539-9797. Ticket text 97136. All right, so then there's this name. That's Free Press has reported within the last half hour that according to a source, former Wisconsin and Arkansas coach Brett Bielema has definite interest in succeeding Mark D'Antonio, retired Tuesday. Bielema is now the outside linebackers coach for the New York Giants. Word is he is eager to return to the college game and has his sights set on the Big Ten, where he played at Iowa and achieved his most success as head coach at Wisconsin. This story from Rainier Sabin of the Detroit Free Press. Gator, I feel like, I've always been a Bielema fan, and I feel like I'm one of the only ones. Like everybody hates Brett Bielema, but it's off the field stuff that probably would have people. How you feel about it?
Well, I like Brett Bielema as a coach. I kind of really like him as a coach. That he had great success at Wisconsin, 68-24 at Wisconsin. The first year they took over Barry Alvarez's team, but Barry Alvarez had built that program up, and he went 12-1 that first year. But he also had 3 straight 10-win seasons from 2009 to 2011. 2 of those were 11-win seasons. He jumped ship to go to Arkansas because he wanted to coach in the SEC. And I can understand that, I guess, but leaving Wisconsin to go to Arkansas doesn't even seem like it's a lateral move. I mean, you were at the top of the Big Ten landscape there. You were certainly the top team if you look at how things transpired with what would have been the West, to go to a near impossible place to win in Arkansas. And he had 3 straight winning seasons at Arkansas, but ultimately flamed out. He's got off-field issues that are concerning. And I have a hard time thinking that Michigan State would go ahead and hire him given his off-field stuff. But I like him as a coach. I like him a lot as a coach. I just don't think that's a viable alternative.
248-539-9797. Brett Bielema would be an absolute disaster. Michigan State needs to think about the long-term needs of the university as a whole. Need to do this thing the right way, even at the expense of the immediate next couple years. It's from an unnamed texter. I think it's more right than wrong. What about Tony Annese from Ferris? I know it's D2, but they're perennial power now. It's from Casey and Midland. Remember this about Tony Annese and Ferris. A lot of what they have built and what he is able to do at Ferris is take D1 transfers. And it's worked out very, very well for him. It's a type of thing that, you can take a project kid or a kid who's had some problems and have some success there. I got an email here from a Ferris grad. He's great with transfers and projects guys, but no, not at the Big Ten level. But he has been successful everywhere he's been. And like I said, with many candidates now, you get the, yeah, but.
Well, he was successful at Grand Rapids Community College, at Ferris State University, as a high school coach. That doesn't scream this great resume. People want to compare that to Brian Kelly. Well, Brian Kelly wasn't at Grand Rapids Community College. He was at Grand Valley State, and then Central Michigan, and then Cincinnati, building himself up. So I just don't think that's the same trajectory.
248-539-9797. Gentlemen, see Jeff Monken, Army, and Blake Anderson, Arkansas State, being tossed around. What do we think? Well, the one guy who said you need to think about the long-term university as a whole, getting a guy from Army, those guys are generally stand up, do it the right way kind of guys, and that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but a little bit underwhelming hire, and then you get into recruiting and all that. Not sure how you would do. Do you need somebody with Midwest ties, with Michigan State ties?
I think
Can an outsider come in and recruit here, given the environment?
Probably not.
248-539-9797. John on a cell. Hi, John. John, are you there?
This is John.
Hey, go ahead.
Hey, no, I just was wondering if this kind of reminds me of the whole Michigan and Les Miles thing years ago, where I think Sparty has a good chance to kind of step back and regroup from this national. I feel like it's a national hot button right now, and I think they could really try to step back and control things and say, look, we took a big swing at this. There's obviously a lot more going on than just Fickell stuff. Because I just felt like that firestorm with the Herb Street and the Les Miles thing, and all of a sudden we're chasing Rich Rodriguez. And frankly, I think Michigan still hasn't recovered from that. So I think you end up going chase, because you're reacting, and you're never kind of given the chance to sit back and really figure out where you want this thing to go and putting out some fires. Where next thing you know, you might have a coach in place that you don't really believe in, and now you're doubling down on a situation that could just be a swing and miss.
Yeah, John, that's why I think the Mike Tressel thing for a year interim makes sense. I mean, it sucks, don't get me wrong. You're not going to be able to recruit. Very difficult to recruit under those circumstances, and, it's probably all the same staff back, but I think it's better than rushing into a hire that you might not actually be 100% believing in. I think you're right.
Right, and I think everybody needs to remember.
John, your cell phone's not good, but we'll let you go. But I think it's a good point that the Mike Tressel thing becomes maybe the best thing to do now. I don't think anybody loves it, but it might be the most prudent move.
I think you got to give it another week. And eventually,
they don't need to hire anybody right. There's no reason to say he's our guy right now. But you're right. Yeah.
I mean, you
vet it out and see if there's anybody.
Try to find somebody else, and he's the fallback because he's the guy who's already on the interim label. I mean, he's obviously the fallback.
When that phone call comes from the candidate you never in a million years expected, then you have the flexibility to make that hire. So there's no rush. 248-539-9797. Karsch and Anderson. We'll get to more of your phone calls and feedback. Champ and Chump. Get your votes in for Champ and Chump of the weekend. 97.1 The Ticket.